go. And I will pull up the first set of slides here before I pass it over to LJ. So one moment. All right, LJ, I'll let you start here.
Excellent. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Very excited to be here. Really excited to see everyone that's joined, to see the diversity, to see men and women. I'm really excited. And I'm excited to share with you some information about New Ecology, more about what a HERS rater is, and what that looks like. Can you please go to the next slide, Maddie? So this is what we're going to talk about today. We'll talk a little bit about New Ecology, some general clean energy careers, focus in on the HERS rater, and talk a little bit about the apprenticeship program that we are working on. Go ahead. So New Ecology is a mission-driven organization. We are a nonprofit and we work in sustainability. So the organization is broken up into a couple different divisions. Our decarbonization division focuses on existing buildings, and our green building division focuses on new construction. That is where our HERS raters are currently living. And next slide, please. We are focused on trying to solve many problems simultaneously and working with many different people with many different backgrounds with a lot of different skills to achieve energy savings goals, to reduce utility costs, to make housing healthier. We focus primarily on affordable multifamily housing, and we are headquartered in Boston. So a lot of our work is in Boston and is in Massachusetts. We do have offices in the Mid-Atlantic. We have one in Delaware and we have one in Maryland. So we're really focused on climate resiliency, energy efficiency, reducing emissions, and the housing stock is a huge piece of that. We are also focused on trying to support and work on the creation of more affordable housing, because we have a huge shortage of housing in general in the Commonwealth. Next slide. And I'm not reading all of the information directly off these slides, mostly because when you get the slide deck later, I'd love for you to take a read through, get to know who we are as an organization a little bit more. But I want to spend my time focusing more on what is a HERS rater, how does it fit in, and what is a career path around that. So we as an organization, like I said, we provide support to existing buildings, new construction buildings. We do work on some research and development. How can we advance the industry? We work within communities and try to really pull communities together in the work that we do. And we're also trying to work in and support workforce development and education as much as we can. We are a highly technical organization. And so we tend to we work on that workforce development from that perspective. So in this particular case, we're the employer partner. In other situations, we are working on bringing our technical knowledge into how can we help educate in different ways than Northeast HERS Alliance does. Next slide. Just a little bit more information in depth on what the Green Building Division specifically does. Again, that's where the HERS raters live within our organization. So these are a couple of our guys working on a blower door test, probably somewhere earlier on in the project. And we, as an organization, we work on these projects kind of start to finish. So we have project managers that get involved in the design of a project. So we're working with the developers to look at the sustainability of their project, working toward green building certifications. Are they meeting requirements? And so our goal is to make sure that we're going above and beyond code wherever possible. So we're also trying to shift the market where we can by encouraging the clients to move past code as well. So we follow these steps through the process. It's what's possible, helping them through the design of their building, doing energy modeling, both HERS rater energy modeling, as well as other energy modeling for more specific energy savings potentials, support the project all through construction, and do all the testing and verification, and then hopefully get them their green building certifications like Passive House, LEED, Enterprise Green Communities. There are some of the examples of high performance green building certifications that the projects can go for. Next slide. So generally speaking, I'd say these are probably like the low-hanging fruit of what you might find, right? If you were going to search for, well, what is a career in clean energy, right? You think about clean energy, solar, wind, energy storage, things like that. Energy efficiency, it encompasses a lot of different things. And if you'd advance, please. Energy efficiency is where we is where we're sitting. One more time. Yeah, thank you. As I mentioned, so New Ecology is sitting in here. Our energy raters are really sitting in here, and it can be associated with our existing infrastructure as well as our new infrastructure. And if you advance again, it's going to do one more. Oh, so no, it didn't. And one more animation. Anyways, there are tons of green energy jobs. It is constantly growing, and it does require very diverse skill sets. You've got people that are installing, you've got people that are maintaining, you've got people that are managing the projects, managing the clients, and these can be very complicated. This can be very complicated work, and it takes a team of a lot of diverse skills to make this all happen. So what is a HERS rater? What does a HERS rater do? A HERS rater is kind of the grader as well as the inspector, as well as the tester. You'll be on site doing inspections throughout the construction process. You'll calculate the HERS index score, and if you advance one more time, that should show up on the screen. So a new standard home might start at 11, and 100. Energy Star home is around 50 to 70, and then net zero is 0. So the HERS index score is there to kind of compare a building with a standard building. And so in the vein of energy efficiency, of trying to make sure that our housing is sustainable and well built and healthy for those who are living in it and in the community, the goal is to get that number as low as possible. So in order to calculate those numbers, you look at the design, you calculate some preliminary numbers, and then work with the team to make sure that everything's constructed accordingly so that we can hit these targets. And so you're doing that through these inspections. Is everything being installed the way it's supposed to? Testing through blower doors, duct leakage, which is the picture you saw on the previous slide was the blower door test. And you're verifying compliance, and then generating reports. There's a lot of responsibilities that go into that, a lot of different tasks, and it's really it's a chance to be in the field talking to the general contractors as they're going through this process and pointing out things and collaborating and working together. So there's a lot of problem solving involved. Next slide, please. And I am talking quite quickly, I think, but I'm trying to make sure that I stay within my time limit. So forgive me. So this is an example of a HERS rater's career progression. Entry level, coming in as a rater field inspector. This is where our apprenticeship program is starting and focusing. And then slowly, moving up, you get more and more experience. You get your HERS rater certification, become a certified HERS rater, get more and more experience doing the work, more independence, moving up to a senior HERS rater. And at some point you'll start, you might start mentoring others within the organization and providing more technical oversight. And then you can be moving up into leadership management. There's a lot of growth potential based on based on the experience that you gain, and your tenure. And if you advance the slide, there's also some information in here. I do not guarantee any numbers, but some information in here around kind of some average numbers for a certified HERS rater salary. I can say that at our organization, an RFI would probably be hired in around, I'm going to say around 55 to 65,000. And it really all depends on a number of things. And there's a lot of growth potential. Next slide. So this is the timeline and the flow for the apprenticeship program. So Northeast HERS Alliance will speak next about their training program, but there's training to go through that you'll go through to learn how to become an RFI, all the training necessary for that. The apprenticeship program starts by bringing that candidate on board, working, getting paid, to do all of the necessary work, necessary field work specific to getting their actual RFI certification. So the employer brings with them a HERS rater provider. And that provider is a third-party organization that does all of the quality assurance and also oversees the HERS raters certifications. So the RFI needs to be out in the field with a certified HERS rater and be able to complete certain things. And so it's kind of a one-on-one in the field, real-time testing of the knowledge and experience to get your RFI certification. And so you're getting experience, you're getting mentorship, and you're getting paid. And you will get that credential and be working for probably at least about 6 months with that employer before going back and going back to any HERS to continue training and get the training necessary for the HERS certification. So you can continue to be working during this time, going through that training. And again, the employer is continuing to mentor you. We are continuing to work together in the field. And once the HERS training is over, the employer continues to take you out into the field, make sure that you get the necessary quality assurance checks from our HERS provider in order to get that final HERS rater credential. And that is the biggest goal for this is being able to get that credential while being employed, building that relationship, getting out there. You come out of it with a full year of actual work experience. You come out of it with that credential, and then we get to interview you and see where it goes from there. Sorry. Thank you. And I am happy to answer any questions, or if anybody wants to talk more about New Ecology as an organization, you can reach out to me. And there is one more slide after this that just kind of shows all of the various credentials that are held by the staff at New Ecology. Are we taking questions?
I think we'll save the questions for the very end, but thank you, LJ. For people who joined maybe in the middle of her presentation, I am recording this and I'll send out the recording and I'll also send out the slides. So if you missed anything, you'll be able to go back and review it. But I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to our next speakers from Northeast HERS. And as I said, we'll have time for questions at the end. So if you guys have any questions about LJ's presentation, we'll have time for that soon. I'm going to go ahead and pass this over to Tim and Betsy.
Oh, pardon me. Thanks, LJ. Thanks, Maddie. We are NEHERS. So we're going to give a quick introduction about what NEHERS is, but then we'll jump into what our mentorship program is and how it relates to the apprenticeship program that LJ was discussing. So we're NEHERS, the Northeast HERS Alliance. Geographically speaking, we cover from Ohio to Maine. That's our general northeast of the United States. However, we do have active members across the nation. You can see in the other lighter green ones, we actually have members as far away as Alaska, Florida, Montana, those places. So we have a pretty good handle in the Northeast, but we've got a pretty far reach too. Next one, please. The HERS industry is a growing industry. I think you probably saw that from some of what LJ said, particularly in Massachusetts with legislation requiring HERS ratings on all new dwellings. This is a big boon for the HERS industry. And so in the coming years, we will be looking at more and more needs for raters. So next one, please. So the stretch code, Massachusetts State Stretch Code, as of July 1st of 2024, has really put mandates down requiring those HERS ratings. And the climate goals, as outlined by Mass CEC Workforce Needs Assessment, we're looking for 13,000 clean energy workers by 2030. So there's a lot of growth there. We need to mentorship more people from diversity, or it would reduce the burden on technical and vocational schools. However, we are pulling some students from those technical and vocational schools. So we're having some young adults as well as some middle-aged adults coming in. There are all kinds of growth rate across the building and particularly the energy needs. A little bit of a downturn now, but it really doesn't seem to have hit the industry just the way it might others. So I think the HERS thing in Massachusetts is looking pretty good. Next one, please. And here's an example of just like what LJ showed. This is the HERS index, and the higher the number, the more energy it uses, and the lower the number, the least amount of energy it uses. Massachusetts is requiring down in the 40s. It's low, very far down there, historically very difficult to get to. And now, of course, zero energy ready or zero energy homes are even lower still. And those are homes that you can't really get there without renewables. So you'll need to see photovoltaics on the roof, which is the most common. Occasionally, you might see a wind turbine, but most homes you'll come across for zero energy ready will have a PV panel, photovoltaics. But Massachusetts mandates a HERS. I keep getting different things, HERS 42 or 45, and renovations are HERS 55. So it's low in the HERS scale on the index, and so it requires some expertise and some consultation with builders to get it to those numbers. And it requires some upfront work, it requires some meetings, and it requires a lot of collaboration. So there's quite a bit there. Next, please. Well, okay, there's the golf thing, right? The difference between a rating field inspector, HERS modeler, HERS rater. Well, as you can see that a rating field inspector, as LJ was saying, is in the field. They do inspections at pre-drywall. They even look at slabs before the concrete's poured. Frame walks, well, they'll look at air sealing and other things, but also insulation, windows, duct sealing, and other aspects that need to be inspected before the drywall goes up, and a lot of consultation with the various contractors and subcontractors in order to position themselves for a really good final inspection, which is where the blower door and duct testing comes into play, and ventilation testing. That is all field work, and it's fun. It can be challenging physically, but it's not a heavy lift. You do need to walk upstairs and carry some of the blower door equipment, but it can be challenging in troubleshooting too. So it's not just easy, non-thinking work. You really have to think outside the box. It's really rewarding to really finally get a unit to pass or see the happy contractor who knows they've done a good job. Now, the HERS modeler is the other side of what we do. The HERS modeler does all the computer work. They take the information from the plans, and they also take information from the RFI, the rating field inspector, based on their inspections, and they put together what's known as the energy model. The energy model is computer work that requires modeling a home based on its attributes, its assemblies. So there's flooring and walls, and there's then, of course, mechanicals like heating and cooling, appliances, lighting, and things of that nature. All of them have to go into the energy model, which then generates that HERS index we just spoke about. And the idea here is that the modeler has targets. Again, Massachusetts requires 42, 45 in that. I don't know, LJ, if you can tell me. I thought it was 42, but everyone keeps saying it's 45. But nonetheless, down in the 40s. And if it doesn't meet those goals, well, then now the modeler and potentially the HERS rater have to get into meetings with the builders and make sure they can get that building down to where they need to be. But it's all computer work. So it's much more attractive to folks that are really savvy with the computer, like to be in the office environment. And it really has your communication skills are slightly different. You speak to maybe more people in a formal setting, so that's a little bit more of a professional feel. Whereas the RFI, you're speaking to them on site. You do have to talk to them in trailers and sometimes with a whole bunch of people. But the RFI plus the HERS modeler together is essentially what a HERS rater does. There's a few more things that a HERS rater has to be trained in after, but essentially an RFI plus a HERS modeler equals a HERS rater. HERS raters do both the field work and the office work. And that can round out the day. One morning you're in doing inspections, and then the afternoon you're doing energy modeling. So it can actually break things up quite nicely for some folks. Next one, please. As LJ was also saying, there's many career advancements. We are talking about above code programs. So not only will you be eventually through our program be trained as an RFI or a modeler, and then go through hopefully some sort of program that we've developed with LJ and the African Bridge Network, and come out a HERS rater. But on top of that, you can also get Energy Star certification. It's practically required, actually. You must do Energy Star certification in order to work on an Energy Star project. LEED certification, which is a really famous kind of above code program for energy efficiency. Passive House certification, either through PHI or FEIS. That is the pinnacle of energy efficiency. There's a lot that goes into it. It's HERS rating times 10, perhaps. But it's nonetheless, there are places to go from just basic HERS. You can also become a code compliance specialist or even the water efficiency quality assurance provider, which LJ mentioned. You can be QA. You can move into that, or you can become a trainer, much like I am. I'm now a trainer. I was HERS rater for a number of years, but now I've moved into the training things. Next one, please. So why are they hired? I think LJ has mentioned a lot of that, but you can certainly see the stretch code compliance right there. That's the big thing that is driving a lot of it in Massachusetts. It's part of the code compliance. It's part of the stretch code, and all kinds of other aspects of HERS ratings and what they're needing. Next one, please. Now, this is our program, the mentorship program. We are starting this spring, and we start with 5 weeks of RFI training, and then we will continue with 7 more weeks where the modelers will continue on and get modeler training. The idea here is that you can earn a good wage without a college education. However, having a college education won't hurt you at all, particularly if you get to the energy sciences, energy and building sciences, algebra, some minor geometry, the kind of things like that. And then, of course, computer skills, communications, emails, phone calls, and of course, the all-important energy model. But we're starting our mentorship program, and it will be starting this spring. We're going to have 2 programs per year, which will be a combination of RFI and modeler. And then we'll have 2 just RFI programs this year. The idea here is that we are going to act as the pre-apprenticeship program to the greater apprenticeship program that LJ was discussing. So you'll go through our program and then jump into the apprenticeship program that LJ and hopefully other organizations are going to be able to carry our students for those 2,000 hours. Next one, please. So our program has requirements. We are publicly funded, and so part of their requirements are that you must be a resident of Massachusetts. It's not difficult to prove. You have a driver's license or some mail that says that you live in Massachusetts. You must be 18 years or older. We need to have adults. We are recruiting those that are coming out of high school, but we really need them to be an adult by the time they go onto job sites. We really need to make sure that everyone is safe, and we feel that 18-year-olds, and so does the insurance, feel that 18-year-olds are safer. At least half of our cohort must come from environmental justice communities or meet low-income eligibility requirements. This is our goal. This is not only the mandate of the grant, but also who we are at NE-HRS is we want to bring in people from all over. And environmental justice communities seem to be the communities that get skipped over for opportunities like this. And we're really trying to get folks in from all kinds of walks of life, income levels, and so on. The better the mix, the better it is for the industry and for everyone involved. You'll need to have some sort of you must sign a form attesting you're authorized to work in the United States. That's all you have to do is just say you are authorized. We're not looking for the authorization. It's not, you may need that when you actually apply for a job, but you're not applying for a job with us. You're just getting trained. You must have a valid driver's license. We need you to be able to go to sites. We are actually part of our program is you will visit job sites and see blower door and duct testing in action and get to play with some of that equipment and try it out for yourself. But in order to get there, we would prefer you had a driver's license. There might be other ways we can get you on site, but those would be case-by-case scenarios. You need a working computer. This course is held online, live with me for 2.5 hours an evening, but it's all on the computer, as you would imagine. The industry's all on the computer. There's even the RFIs have to submit field reports through the computer. They have emails and all that as well. So the electronic age is here to stay, and everything needs to be a working computer and reliable Wi-Fi. Again, it's online. We are, like I said, trying to recruit some trade school or high school seniors, but they must have or will have their diploma by the time the site work begins. And if you guys are interested, we encourage you to go to nehrs.org and look for the mentorship application at that site and sign up. And we'll have all kinds of interviews coming up very soon. Actually, they're going right now. It's a rolling interview thing. Next one, please. So the RFI model trainings run concurrently, as I said, for 5 weeks. And so we're going to do 5 weeks, modelers and RFIs together, discuss all kinds of things like the basic math, basic construction terms, and then we go into some of the standards that are required for the HRS industry, which is governed by ResNet. And some of these requirements are addressed in their standards 301, 380, and so on. You will get hands-on job shadowing. RFIs are required to have 20 hours in the field, and that means following an actual HRS rater around, and then 10 hours for the modelers, also following a HRS rater around, either on the job site. Some modelers have actually managed to follow a rater in their offices to get a better feel for the computer side of things. But nonetheless, you will actually be required to do some shadowing, which will come in handy if once you move either straight into employment or into the apprenticeship program. It could very well be that one of the HRS raters you followed around or shadowed might actually be part of your apprenticeship program. Networking is crucial in this industry, so the more people you meet, the better off it is. The mentorship program is named the mentorship program because we pair you with a career mentor, either someone who is retired but knows the industry inside and out, or someone who's an active QA perhaps provider, or even HRS raters themselves. You'll get paired with somebody in the HRS industry that can help you navigate some of the more nuanced parts of the training as well as the actual industry itself. We also have a success coach on staff, which will try to make sure everything stays on track, keep things moving, and will also play an integral role in the job placement support. And we try to get I know the African Bridge Network will be working on resumes and things of that nature, but we would also be quite happy to jump in if there was anything that ABN wanted us to do, or if you felt you wanted to, double up or double down or whatever. We're around for that too. Next one, please. The mentorship program, Rating Field Inspector, starts with OSHA 10 training. If you already hold your OSHA 10 card, then you can skip that first week. However, you will need to take and complete and pass the OSHA 10 training as a prerequisite to join the program. Folks that as soon as they get the OSHA training login should jump right on it. It's not that difficult, but it does require about 10 hours. The first 5 weeks of the cohort is the radar fielding inspector, and we will do basic geometry and algebra, construction terms. We'll do blower door and duct ventilation workshop. That's going to be an all-day affair on Saturdays, 2 subsequent Saturdays. And like as I said, the ANSI ResNet ICC standards. The all-important ResCAS exam is a ResNet required exam for all RFIs, and that will help. We will help train you through that and pass that exam. And then the HERS Rater simulation actually acts as our final exam for the raters, but it is also a required exam for ResNet's HERS raters. So you'll actually get a jump start on your HERS rating career by finishing up your RFI. And I think that's really an important thing. And we'll be having 3 trainings for RFIs in 2026. Next one, please. The modeler training takes place directly after the RFI training. So RFIs will track towards RFI. They'll be finished and be moving into either the apprenticeship program or perhaps employment. Depends on, we would prefer them to go through the apprenticeship program, but in any case, they'll move on. The modeler will continue on having finished the first 5 weeks with the RFIs, but they'll continue with weeks 6 to 12, where they learn all about the software. It's a ResNet accredited HERS modeling training. We have been accredited from ResNet, and we will be following the curriculum that is required, plus a few extra things. We pride ourselves in offering a little bit more than is required. The training we offer is through the Ecotrope Energy modeling software. Again, that is a nationally recognized software that we find that most companies are using. LJ, does anybody in your company use RemRate anymore, or is it all Ecotrope? All Ecotrope? All Ecotrope, yeah. So that's good because RemRate I hate. So there you go. So the software, we'll talk about foundation slabs. I think I discussed this. Fenestration, mechanicals, utilities, and reporting. These are all required things, that whole list that's required by ResNet for us to teach. We will also go through 3 mentored ratings with me. We'll walk through the first one really closely. By the time we get to the third one, our students are pretty good at it, and we'll do that one fairly alone, but nonetheless, we'll still be around. And then those get corrected, and we go through all kinds of things, and then you are prepared for the final exam, a ResNet required exam, and that'll be held on a Saturday. Typically, we find a place in Worcester. And then for 2026, we're going to be offering 2 modeler trainings because they take 7 weeks. We can really kind of shoehorn them in the best we can for 2026. Subsequent years, we're thinking we can get in 3, possibly more, but anyway, certainly more than 2. Next one, please. The RFI modeler students who are successfully placed for job placed for 6 to 12 months will hold 5 slots for the upcoming HERS Rater training. So as LJ was saying, is once you say you're in the apprenticeship program with LJ and you're learning on the job, getting paid, you will take your RFI or modeler training and put it to good use. You'll be learning through their HERS raters, and nearing the end of their program, you would just come back to us and we would send you to HERS Rater training. It's at no cost. It's still part of the grant. So same as the RFI and modeler. But the HERS Rater training gets you that HERS Rater exam. And then all you have to do is finish up some more mentored ratings again through their providership, and you're now a HERS Rater. So it's a great thing that the RFIs and modelers start with us. They move through into apprenticeship, and as they near the end of apprenticeship, they come back to us. And between the apprenticeship program and any HERS, we're turning out qualified HERS Raters. Same thing as a mentorship. Students are paired with mentors. We would have ongoing success coaching. We would work with the apprenticeship program or with your employers if needed to help uh, maintain your success and moving forward in your HERS career. We do our job placement support. We have our ear to the ground across the industry, across Massachusetts and Southern New England, looking for positions. We will try to get you placed. But we only have 5 mentor slots, perhaps. We can get more, but it's competitive enough that we want people to really put their best foot forward. Certainly, 5 mentor slots will fit into the HERS Rater training, and those are reserved for our graduates from RFI and Modeler. And the HERS Rater training, we offer 4 trainings in 2026. I think we'll typically offer 4 every year. I'm not sure. Maybe Betsy, you could jump in. How many times did we historically do? 4 a year? Was it?
Historically, it's been more like 3 a year, and
Okay.
last year or 2 we've done 4.
Okay.
Yep, and I just posted the links on the chat for the mentorship program application form, and then also the listings for the HERS Rater trainings that are coming up for 2026, and there's also the preliminary dates for 2027 that are listed as well.
Nice. Nice. Thanks. Next slide, please. Okay, so yes, we have deadlines, of course, as you would expect. The course begins. So we want our RFI and model applications apply early. You know, we do it on a rolling basis. So as they come in, we process them and try to decide if there's a good fit between us and the student. And then we really want to have everything in by late January. The anticipated start date is February 23rd, but that's where the OSHA training will begin, is February 23rd. Our actual training, my class training, will begin on March 22nd. I'm sorry, March 2nd. So if you, in part of the application process, you would actually check mark whether you have OSHA 10 training or not. It's free. If you don't have it, that's fine. We'll send you to OSHA 10 training. It doesn't cost you anything. And that'll take a week, as I said. And then we'll move straight into the RFI/modeler right on March 2nd. Next slide, please. So there they are. Those are the sites. Actually, those are exactly the ones that Betsy put up. So there you go. Go into the chat. Betsy put those up. You will also get this slide deck. Be sure to, you can just click on it and get some information if you like. You know, you're welcome to peruse the entire site, but if you want to join into the program, the mentorship program, it doesn't cost anything to apply, and you can certainly apply, and we can certainly talk about it on the telephone, let that initial reach out. So I encourage you to do that. Next slide, please. Actually, is that the last one? No, there's many more, right? No, that is the last one. Oh, I thought there was more. Wow. Short-lived for me. You'll find that I talk a lot. So there you go. I managed to get it all in 15 slides. Yeah. Right, LJ? Look at LJ's ready to.
Oh, don't I know it?
All right. Well, you know, that's the program. There's a lot more to it. I could go on for hours about it, but I leave it open for those who wish to have questions for LJ or me or Betsy. Back to you, Maddie. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Tim. Obviously, that's a lot of information that they just went over, and probably a lot of jargon that maybe not everyone fully comprehends, because I know I don't fully comprehend it. But if anyone has questions or they want to just learn more about it, we have about 15 more minutes, so I want to open it up to you guys for any questions.
We do have in the course, we will be discussing some basic construction terms. Now, folks from other countries might have different terms for these assemblies and the parts that go into these assemblies. So we do discuss that to a degree. We will also go over basic math skills again, just to make sure we all understand areas and volumes. So we do start off kind of easily. You know, it's an easy ramp up, but then it does kind of pick up pace from there. So anything you don't understand at any given time, it's a live training. So you're gonna have to break in and shut me up and ask a question. So,
I
but
see a
else I've
hand.
lost this. Huh?
I said, I see a hand. Speaking of which,
I don't
Simone,
see a hand. Simone,
I see your hand raised. Go ahead.
is it
Hi.
for me or for? Okay.
Yes, it's for you. Thank you for the presentation. A quick question on the requirement side. So I'm a recent MBA graduate, but I want to get my hands into the field. So I want to be into the clean energy sustainability. So how would I fit into this program?
Um, Perfectly. It's a
Hmm.
entry level. Now RFI
Hmm.
and RFI and Modeler are entry level. So it's the beginning. It's the first step into the
Hmm.
HERS industry. Um, Having a master's degree, you may find yourself being one of the more educated folks as an RFI modeler. But again,
Hmm.
it's the stepping stone that leads to the
Hmm.
HERS rating, that leads to the rest.
Exactly.
You would fit right in. If you
Okay.
have, you don't need any experience in the industry. It's helpful. You don't need any experience in math or the building sciences. I mean, it's helpful,
Hmm.
but you could sign up and we would discuss things. We're looking for people that are willing to learn, that are
Yes.
capable of learning, and that are interested in it to begin with. This is not just the fallback kind of, well, I don't know what else to do with myself. No, we're looking for people that are passionate. So I think, Simone, that you would fit perfectly,
Okay.
just based on that. Yeah.
Yes, and because I'm looking for the hands-on experience, and as I'm going, as I'm learning, it's a field that requires a lot of tools to get
It,
yourself into the
it,
doors.
it does. It's not only just physical tools of blower door and duct testing,
Hmm.
but mental tools,
Yes. Hmm.
discipline tools, uh, attention to detail.
Hmm.
Because you don't require a college degree to do this, doesn't mean it's necessarily
Exactly.
easy. It
Hmm.
is. The tools that you need to do this job, you will learn on the job. That's the
Hmm.
apprenticeship program that LJ was speaking of. And I'm the pre-apprenticeship. I get you primed and ready to go. Got those ResNet things, some of
Hmm.
the ResNet things out of the way. But you'll continue your education on the job, learning as you go. At the end of it
Great.
all, it'll all make sense. So you'll learn these things as you go.
Great. Good to hear. Thank you.
I see a question from Eugenia in the chat saying, I will have job shadowing from your partners, but it is not a guarantee getting a job after the program, right?
That is correct. We cannot guarantee a job. We can guarantee that we'll be in your corner to help you as best we can. And that would include, assuming that things went well, I could, for our good students, or we offer reference letters. Of course, part of our program is resume perusal and correction and writing and so on. African Bridge Network actually does that, I think, right at the beginning. Is that correct, Maddie? You guys take care of a lot of that?
Yeah, if anyone wants to apply for these programs, but they feel like maybe they want to look at their resume, they want someone to just give them some feedback on how to improve it, that's what we're here for. So you can send send your resume to me and I'll look at it. So
Right. And Maddie's ABN also takes a great interest in looking for positions for our graduates. I mean, LJ is going to be in the program, doing the apprenticeship side of things. All that she or any of the other employers that get involved in are only required to give an interview. They are not required to give you a job. But after a year's worth of on-the-job training, you are much more attractive to any employer than just walking in cold off the street. Um,
yeah,
so
I'd love to chime in if I could. Um,
just this once.
just this one. Better make it good. Oh, the pressure's on. Oh my God. All right. So like from the employer's perspective, from my perspective, and I recognizing here that the apprenticeship program is one thing. The any HERS program is another thing. We are bringing that into the apprenticeship program. But should you go through these trainings outside of the apprenticeship program, That's very true. It does not guarantee job placement, and in fact, your job shadowing might be with multiple employers. And the biggest piece of advice that I could give you is go into that with curiosity. Ask a million questions. Don't be afraid of being annoying, because and we are trying to make sure that we're participating in that job shadowing opportunity as well, because the people that we want on our team are those that want to learn, those people that are asking questions because they're trying to figure it out and they're curious. Nobody's expecting you to have the answers, and that goes a really, really long way with the team, right? If you're out there shadowing a HERS rater from a company, you want that HERS rater to go back to their company and be like, that person was really cool. They asked me all kinds of questions. We got stuff done. They picked stuff up and carried it for me. Like, we worked as a team. Like, those are the sorts of things that you can impress upon someone in your job shadowing that will take you somewhere. So just, every opportunity to walk around with somebody is an opportunity you don't want to waste. And then through the apprenticeship program, we would love to be, we will get the opportunity to do an actual kind of appropriate interview once that process is done. But remembering through that apprenticeship program that we are investing in you as much as anything. So that's a great outcome to have at the end. Okay, you can have it back, Tim.
I see a couple more questions in the chat here that I want to read out. So we have one from Gabriel. He says he's currently a student. He currently does not have a social security number. He would like to understand how he could participate or benefit from this program given that situation. Or is there an alternate process?
In terms of securing driving school, we can certainly look into it. We do offer wraparound services. I don't know if we have anything specifically. Oh, Betsy, yeah, please jump in.
Well, in terms of the question about the Social Security number, I did check with a provider about that. We are not aware of any requirement in order to get the ResNet certification that requires a Social Security number. So that's as far as we know for getting up through the rater credential. In terms of an employer hiring you, though, that's a separate question. You would either need your Social Security number or you would need some sort of valid U.S. work authorization that the employer would request that you present to them. So that's that piece of it. The driver's license question is something that, our success coach could potentially help support you figuring out getting your license, like working with you to, strategize how best to go about doing that. So that's a possibility. Yeah.
Thank you guys. That's helpful. And I see we have a question. Actually, someone else answered this question in the chat. They asked if they get the certification, does it only apply in Massachusetts? And Edward answered, thank you, Edward, said HERS is a national certification.
Yeah, Edward is correct. It is national. ResNet is a national organization. Residential Energy Services Network is what ResNet is. And all 50 states have HERS raters. Your certification is transferable. You can take your HERS rater number, your HERS modeler number, your RFI number, and it goes with you. But you still need a provider. So just keep that in mind. Either someone you hire yourself as a HERS rater, you're going out in a business of your own, you still need to have a provider, or you work for a company that is recognized by ResNet and has a provider. But yes, anywhere. Now, for our program, these are for Massachusetts residents only. So at the time of the course, you need to prove your residency here in Massachusetts. And we ask that you get a job with a company that is in good standing with Massachusetts. They don't necessarily be Massachusetts based, but they have to do work in Massachusetts. The idea is to keep things here in Massachusetts, what the grant is all about. After your 6 or 12 months of employment, I mean, you can do whatever you like anyway, but we ask that you stick around for 6 to 12 months, and then if you really feel that you need to move to Montana, then, your certification will go with you.
Thank you, Tim. Does anyone have any final questions? We have a couple minutes left. Want to make sure we answer as many as possible. If not, that's okay. If you're more comfortable asking questions over email or want to talk more off of this meeting, that's completely fine. I'm going to send out an email right after this with all the information from today. So you'll get the recording, you'll get the slides, you get the links to apply for all of these things. I'll also be including a little bit of additional information on a different opportunity that is also relating to clean energy. We didn't talk about it today because it did not relate to this, but I will be including some information on that. But if anyone has questions, you'll have my contact information. And if you have questions for Tim or LJ or Betsy, I can connect you guys to them if you want to speak with them directly. But I want to thank everyone for taking the time to be here today. I want to thank LJ, Tim, and Betsy for speaking, and everyone that took time out of their afternoon to join this session. So like I said, I'll be sending all this information out. So if you joined late, you won't miss anything. If you have any further questions, you can just reach out to me over email. All right.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you all soon. Have a nice day and a nice week.
Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone.